Welcome to our tour.
Let's get started! The tour will start with a visit of Jeju Oil-jang, followed by the walk along the Sehwa Beach. And then you will explore Jeju Haenyeo Museum, where you will gain deeper understanding of lives of Jeju Haenyeo. Then you will have opportunity to experience the real Jeju Haenyeo diving with Haenyeo in Jeju Island. Then let's get started. Haenyeo is the woman who dives into the sea and collects seafood without any equipment. Hae means sea and Nyeo means woman. So the word Haenyeo is quite intuitive word. The job they collect seafood is called Mul-jil. Haenyeo is all over the nation, but the beginning of it was Jeju Island. They started this work to maintain their lives, naturally succeeding their mother. Also, of course, they cannot work in the sea every day due to the weather and their strength, right? Since they work only 70 days in a year, they also work in the field. Haenyeo is deeply related to Jeju culture, which is designated as UNESCO Intangible Heritage. Maybe you know that Korea was occupied by Japan from 1910 to 1945. There were numerous resistance and independent movements nationally. Jeju Haenyeo also participated in the resistance in 1931. And here, Sehwa Folk 5th Day Market, Oil-jang, was the starting point. They shouted, "If you treated us with guns and swords, we will treat by death." They revolt holding bitchang, which is the equipment to take abalone. So at first, the name of this market was the Sehwa 5th Day Market, but to praise this event, the name was changed into Sehwa Haenyeo Folk 5th Day Market. Oil-jang is the market which opens every 5 days. This culture began in the Goryeo generation. At first, only the man was able to visit the market because all the authority to manage income and consumption was all to men. So then, gambling, drinking, and quarreling was heard frequently, and agricultural productivity was also declined. To prevent these situations, Goryeo government encouraged women to visit the market. Thanks to this change, oil has become a good opportunity for the women to participate in commerce.
아우리의 단점을 보완한 거.
Do you remember the Haenyeo resistance I mentioned? Here is the place where the Haenyeo movement began. Haenyeo walked into this direction from here. Although now only the site remains, we have to remember its value. Follow me. Everyone, look at it. Can you see the square space surrounded by stone? It is called Doguri bucket. The water named Yong-cheon-su is safe. When it rains, the rainwater seeps into the ground and it rises from the shore. It is quite amazing phenomenon. That water is called Yong-cheon-su. In the past, water was an important resource. So the village was created based on the Yong-cheon-su, and its size decided the size of the village. Yong-cheon-su was very important, so people saved it by doguri bucket. These days, the water work is well developed, so the use of Yong-cheon-su has decreased. And even it was damaged, we should preserve it. There are two doguri buckets. The one near the street is for women to get living water, and the other one is for the men. The stones are connected to doguri bucket, so you can walk into there, but be careful not to be locked in the sea.
Do you see the stone walls over there? That is Gaet-geot-hal-mang-dang. Gaet-geot-hal-mang-dang is a shrine dedicated to sea god, also known as Hae-sin-dang. Hae-sin-dang is a great place to show the religious world of Jeju people, including fishermen and Haenyeo. Historically, Jeju residents, who had high rate of employment in fishing, believed that the sea god would keep their journey safe and protect them. Because of this belief, rituals known as Tangut were performed here at Hae-sin-dang to pray for a bountiful and safe journey. This ritual remains an important event until nowadays to fishermen and Haenyeo. Every coastal village in Jeju Island has Hae-sin-dang at its coast. Let's start by looking at Jeju Haenyeo's traditional house. As you see, this house is built from natural materials like stone, clay, wood, thatch, which is chosen to withstand the strong winds and heavy rain of Jeju's coast. The low height and stone walls are designed to endure the harsh weather. The artifacts displayed in the house are items that real Haenyeo used, giving us a glimpse into the daily lives of Haenyeo and other ordinary Jeju residents. As we saw at Sehwa Beach, Jeju village are typically situated along the coast. Fishing was a key economic activity, so village formed around harbors where boats could be easily docked. Haenyeo work in groups organized by the Ochonge, a fishing community association, which manage their fishing activities. The Ochonge and the Haenyeo are closely connected, as the Haenyeo's diving work is done with the approval and support of the association. The role of women in Jeju is quite different from the role of women in mainland. While traditionally in Korea, men were responsible for economic activities and women took care of the household. Jeju women had to handle both household chores and economic tasks, like farming and diving. This was partly because of the high number of men who died in fishing activities. Widowed women in Jeju had to become even more resilient to support their families in the challenging environment, which is why Jeju women have historically played such an important role in maintaining their households. Galot is a traditional clothing used by Jeju people, dyed with kanmul, giving it a dark brown color. It was worn by Jeju people as a living and work clothing. The color of galot resembles the earthy tones of Jeju soil, allowing its stains less noticeable and less likely to show dirt. And after the kanmul dyeing, the texture can be more sturdy and stiff, which makes good circulation of air. And for the Jeju people who had limited access to water and cannot wash their clothing frequently, this was a perfect clothing option. As a result, kalot does not cling to the people's skin easily. The ingenuity of Jeju people is evident in how they reuse this kalot. After the kalot has been damaged or show dirt, they just re-dye the clothes and it looked like a new cloth after the dyeing. And even if gets damaged a lot, they reuse it into living items such as diapers and handkerchiefs. And these days, because of its eco-friendliness and effectiveness of kalot, the kalot is gaining popularity again in these days. Could you guys guess what these all instruments for? These were instruments used in rituals by Haenyeo. Shamanistic beliefs are deeply intertwined with Jeju culture, especially with Haenyeo, the sea woman. As you see here, the model you see represents how Jeju people conduct rituals and ceremonies to pray to the sea god for safety and prosperity at sea. The Gaet-geot-hal-mang-dang we see at Sehwa Beach is one such place where these rituals are performed. For Haenyeo, the sea is both provider of their livelihood and a source of potential danger. They will pray at the tang for safety and bountiful fishing in sea. And these prayers were symbolized in gut. The biggest gut in Jeju Haenyeo culture is called jamsu gut. And for this jamsu gut, Haenyeo prepared all the food and money for about 1 year. And normally the jamsu gut is performed once a year in autumn season.
The Bultok is the place to where Haenyeo exchange their clothes and take a rest during the daytime and preparing for the diving. The Bultok is surrounded by the stone in circle with a bonfire in the center to keep Haenyeo warm. Here, Haenyeo exchange information about fishing skills and fishing grounds, consolidate their ideas, and make decisions. Currently, 70 Bultok exist, and depending on the size of village, there were only 3 or 4 Bultok in each village. We're gonna look about the Haenyeo's clothes and the working tools. First, if you look at this clothes, the dress name is 물소중 and the hat's name is 물수건. The dress is made of one side, but the side is open so we can manage their size. And 태왁 망사리 is a kind of basket carried in the sea, which helps keep Haenyeo afloat. This round ball was made by digging into the ground so that the basket could float. And also, 망사리 can hold about 40 to 200 kilograms of seafood. So here's the Haenyeo's clothes that we use nowadays. This rubber suit just looks like a diving suit that the divers wear. This clothes is started to use from the 1970s by Japan. The biggest difference from the diving suit is ingredient. We use cheaper ingredient because we don't need any designs. And the rubber suit makes Haenyeo to work more longer than before. In the past, they just work about an hour, but nowadays they work more than 4 hours. Thanks to this clothes, they can earn more money. And in this part, we're gonna look about Haenyeo's eyewear. 족쇄는 is the oldest one, and now we use this 왕눈. Now we can contain both eyes and nose, so it became more convenient. And these goggles are one of the most expensive equipments, so they keep it in this wooden box, 눈곽, preciously. Do you remember the Oiljang and the past Oiljang site? Here's the documents related to the Haenyeo independence movement. So you might be thinking that how is Haenyeo different from the fisher gathering man? However, the point is that the biggest difference is Haenyeo always work as a group. As our member explained before, Haenyeo always discuss and make a decision by their group and work all together. Furthermore, they have their own rules and law of their community. For example, the law can contain the contents kind of how our fishery village boundary starts and ends. So in conclusion, this kind of Haenyeo community makes Haenyeo more bonded and encourage them to think of each other not as a co-worker but as a friend. So in this part, we're gonna look about Haenyeo's natural knowledge. If you look at here, these are all names of winds depending on the directions. And here we can check the names of tides. There are a lot of tides, and if you see this part, there are names of the tide of specific season. So if you want to be a Haenyeo, you need to know about this kind of knowledge because you have to survive in the dangerous ocean.
Haenyeo started Mul-jil in their early teenage with a tewa that their father made for them. These interviews shows that the lives of Haenyeo, they make money to pay tuition fee for their children and maintain their family's economy and became the head of household. A woman had to become a Haenyeo for their family rather than just being a wife to a man and a mom to a child. From this, we can see that despite of the difficulties and fears, Haenyeo started Mul-jil to be responsible for the livelihood of their families. Some Haenyeo left Jeju to work in the eastern shore of Korea, even though overseas. Jeju Haenyeo's practice expanded to Japan in Japanese colonial era because Japan stole lots of seafood in Jeju and even forced them to collect and deliver seafood in Japan. After the colonization, Haenyeo extended their area to other countries, for instance, Russia and China. Several Haenyeo went to the land for working, marry, and settle there, leading to the spread of the Haenyeo's diving practice across the country. This park and monument commemorate the spirit of the Haenyeo resistance against Japan. Jeju Haenyeo Uprising was the largest women's resistance in Korea, organized by local Haenyeo. This park is the area around Yeonbumak-donggan, where the Haenyeo in eastern Jeju gathered and protested on January 1932, and has a significance as a secondary rallying point for the seafarers who participated in the protest.
The Haenyeo experience takes place in fishing village in Hado with Haenyeo who have over than 40 years of experience. There you will be offered a rubber suit, goggle, and lead belt, also tewa. After a brief explanation, you will enter into the water. Wearing a rubber suit makes you float. So you need to wear the lead belt Yong-cheon to sink into the bottom of the water. Because of the buoyancy of the rubber suit, it's hard to sink into the bottom of the sea. So I recommend you to use the lead belt, but if you are not a good swimmer, you don't need to wear Yong-cheon, the lead belt. So it's optional, and you can also choose the weight of the lead belt. When you dive into the sea to collect the seafood, you need to let go of the tailwalk. If you're holding the tailwalk, you won't be able to dive into the sea because of the buoyancy of the tailwalk. Once the experience begins in earnest, Haenyeo will help you to catch the conch and other seafoods. But at first, it will be hard for you to catch up the seafoods yourself. So Haenyeo will help you collect the seafood together. After the experience, you will be taken to the shower room. There you can take a shower and change clothes. After that, you'll have opportunity to taste the conches that you catched yourselves. So enjoy!